want to welcome Emily Ellis to Camp Connect. Emily has been one of my staff members for many, many years here at Sunset Lake Camp. Emily, how many years has it been that you've either been coming as a camper or working as a staff member at Sunset Lake?
I came 6 years as a camper and 5 years as a staff member. So 11 summers of my life at Sunset Lake Camp. Would not trade any single summer for anything.
Yeah, I always love talking to camp veterans, people that just made it their life. What brought you back summer after summer, both as a camper and then as a staff member?
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. So I spent 2 summers as a lifeguard, 2 summers as a counselor, and my last summer was girls director. And it's really hard to put into words what kept bringing me back to camp. Because you're in the thick of camp and you kind of remember feeling tired and exhausted because it's a crazy summer, but also at the same time, there's this sort of synergy and energy that you get working at camp. And I think it's from helping kids understand new things and guiding them in that, helping them to kind of push beyond their comfort zone. Because I know I was pushed beyond my comfort zone, but not to its limits, right? Yeah. But not to the point of making people feel uncomfortable, but guiding that and helping that for young kids. But then I think also for me, I remember I had come as a camper. I've been Christian my whole life, but it wasn't until camp that my eyes were just open to the wonder of God and that God could be my friend. And I think seeing that in campers, whether they've been Christian their whole life and have been going to church consistently every weekend, or whether this is their first time encountering God, it's just for every single person, it's like the first time. And so to be able to help facilitate such an environment that helps people connect to God in that way for the first time, it's just, you can't put words to it. And it's something that I wanted to continue to do and continue to give to people. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you served in various capacities here at camp. Certainly many years as a counselor, girls director. Am I missing something?
Lifeguard.
That was the other one. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, you made the rounds at camp. And thinking about your time as a staff person, how did that prepare you for where you are now? You're now pastoring in the Oregon Conference, the youth pastor at the Pleasant Valley Church. How did camp get you ready for where God has you now?
Yeah. I remember actually sitting in a lot of conversations with you, Pastor Dave, when there would be a problem camper, and it kind of would reach the edge of the counselor's ability or even my ability. And so, or the director. And so we would sit with this camper and talk. And I just remember learning a lot from those conversations, actually from you and how you treated the camper. And in those conversations, the camper was never the problem. The camper was never the person with the issue. It was that we were working on this outside issue with the camper and partnering alongside with the camper and really trying to understand why the camper was even in this position. So getting beneath the surface of the reaction and understanding this camper's history and their past and how that was affecting the decision today. And usually those resulted in moments of breakthrough and reconciliation. And in the process, the camper's past was healed, and also they were able to move forward with the problem as well. And I think that has really helped me in pastoral ministry. And I think that that's applicable to anybody in whatever leadership position they're in. Not seeing the person who you're having struggles with as the problem, but rather working alongside and putting your arm alongside that person and working together as teammates to solve whatever issue is at hand. The person is never the enemy. And the enemy, capital E enemy, would like us to see the other person as the enemy, but rather our calls as leaders is to really sit with people and wrestle with them. And looking back on my years as a counselor, lifeguard, and girls director, the majority of my interactions with people when they were in their low moments or, really rough moments, it was sitting with people. It was listening, it was hearing, it was entering into their story and hearing how that story was affecting whatever they were going through in that moment. And that's a powerful lesson that no textbook can really teach you. No leadership course can really teach you until you're actually there doing it, and there with a person. And that lesson alone is invaluable and has helped me just in my past 6 months being a youth pastor. So
yeah, there's so many connections between what you're doing now and camp.
mm-hmm.
And it's all about the people and
Yeah.
learning to. Every time you talk about those challenges, the challenge
Mm-hmm.
campers, every time one of them comes into my office or I'm talking to them somewhere around camp,
Yeah.
it's another life lesson, and it's just a great thing that God's leading us all into to discover and to learn and to love people better. It's great.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's just remarkable how much breakthrough can happen in 1 week.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the nature of camp in general. But you look at the success and the breakthrough that happens in 1 week at camp is stuff that I think churches wish they had in a year. And a lot of it has to do with just the nature. We're all there doing life with each other, having the same eating schedules, like sleeping in quarters, all this different stuff. But it's true, God works in powerful ways through you at camp, and the kind of miracles, like I'm just getting the miracles, the breaking of the chains that chains are on these kids that happen in that 1 week at camp. Man, it's more than any kind of than what churches are doing in an entire year of ministry. And it's powerful. So
That's very true. I love the idea that you bring up the concept of miracles, because
mm-hmm.
we take it for granted sometimes as staff members because it seems to happen every week. But
exactly.
It's
mm-hmm.
extraordinary what
mm-hmm.
God's doing in these lives in a very concentrated period of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the miracles happen when you're with just a willing heart, and staff members that come. Some of them might be studying to be a pastor, but so many of them are like English majors. Or I remember started working there when I was in high school, and the reality is that miracles happen through anybody whose heart is willing to just be open to the working of God and the work of the campers. So, like, the Holy Spirit works through everybody.
Yeah. So what would you say to a young person, a young adult that's here at Camp Connect and is saying, "Oh, should I work at camp? Should I get an internship? Should I go make more money at a regular job?"
Yeah.
What would you say to them about why they ought to be at camp this summer?
Yeah. What I would say to that is that, one, when you graduate college, you're going to be making money for the rest of your life. All right. And you're going to be making way more money than you're going to do in any sort of internship. So that's my first thing that I'm going to say. Number two, I work with a ton of young adults, and all the young adults that didn't work at camp, one of their main regrets in life is not working at camp.
Wow.
So there's that. And number three, yes, you don't make a lot of money at camp, 100%. But also at the same time, I think there is such a thing as giving your life as an offering, and giving your time as an offering to God. And so that is kind of something that I look at in my life. Like, I view that time of life as that was one of my offerings to God. That was my mission work to God. Missionary life. I mean, missionary life looks like going overseas and, spending, a year in Denmark or Malawi or the Micronesian Islands. But missionary work also looks like working up at Sunset Lake or Sunset Lake Camp or any camp, whatever camp you're in, Marvin, Big Lake, Wawona, Kolkata, whatever you're talking about.
We love them all.
Always at the forefront of my mind. I told Pastor Dave this wouldn't be polished. Anyways. But I would say, your life is an offering. And so give this as an offering to God. Not saying that money isn't an issue. I also know that, look at whatever college you're looking at. I know Walla Walla University, gives a subsidy or matches. You, depending on what, your camp work the camp you're working at and everything. And so I would also just really consider that as well. So yeah, that's what I would say. That you're going to have the rest of your life to be making money.
Yeah.
And working a few summers at camp is not going to hurt you financially for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So
But it can change you. And that's
it can change you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I hear from you. Emily, thanks for your years of giving yourself as an offering, and I can attest to the number of young people that have been changed through your ministry and here at camp. That's great. I hope that your words will encourage others to join. So thanks for being with us today, and God bless you in your work there in the Oregon Conference, and
Thank
as you
you.
continue to work in these challenging times.
Yeah, I need it. I don't know
All
what I'm
right.
doing. Appreciate you, Pastor Dave.
Yeah.
And work
Okay.
at camp, please. It's the
Yeah.
best.
All right. Thanks so much, Emily.